Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to my Christmas movie marathon. And for this one, I'm gonna be going over a movie that I actually saw recently called Four Christmases. Um, this one isn't really my favorite, although there is a bit of there are some parts that I like. I mean, I didn't really I didn't really care for like a lot of the technical stuff, such as like the camera work or the lighting or anything. It all felt very like uninspired to me. Although like it was also I think like a mid 2000s movie, so that's kind of par for the course for a lot of the movies I saw back then. But I remember seeing this film actually on Christmas Eve last year with the rest of my family. And basically, the story is that Vince Vaughn and Reese Witherspoon are a couple, but have never married, and they don't have kids. Um, but because like they like each other and they live together, um, they're kind of, I think they were deciding on if they wanted to have kids or not. But while they were kind of thinking on that, they realized that because of like all their in-laws are together, they have to go. They decide to go to each and every one of their Christmas parties, totaling up in like 4 Christmas parties. And from there, like a bunch of hijinks ensue. There's a lot of slapstick comedy in there. I think Vince Vaughn and Reese Witherspoon do all right in this film. Um, I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say it's their best work. Like I've honestly not seen a lot of Reese Witherspoon's work outside of the morning show, which I've actually just recently finished that series. And I thought she was great in there, and that's really one of the reasons why I actually paid attention to this film. Because I liked her in that show, so I thought like, well, I'll watch this comedy with her in it, and I thought she did okay. She didn't have too many standout moments aside from this one segment where she's in a bounce house with a bunch of kids and she just beats the crap out of all of them because one of them like put a pregnancy test in their mouth, and the way she gets it out is that Reese Witherspoon tells the kid that she peed on it. So that just makes everybody just in the bounce house just stop dead cold, and like just allows her to get out. That scene made me kind of chuckle a bit. Vince Vaughn does all right too. I've seen him in other. I've seen him in a lot of other comedy films. Personally, I still think his best. I still think one of his better ones is 2020's Freaky, where he basically had to play dual roles of both playing as a teenager and also playing as a serial killer. But here he does okay. The only bit that I remember most from him here is one segment where he's trying to help in setting up this satellite dish. And I can't remember if it was his fault exactly or if somebody else's or someone else's, but basically the dish falls off the roof, and because it's connected to this wire that's inside the house, it basically completely destroys part of the house. And I don't know. Aside from that, like, I still laughed a lot at this film, but it's not like this movie was like Oscar worthy or anything. That and the ending was pretty cool, where I believe they actually do get married and they have a kid, and their kid just happens to be born on New Year's Day. And even though they wanted to keep it a secret, because it's the first one on New Year's, the news stations shove cameras in their face, and it's announced to the whole nation, basically. But aside from that, like, this film this film was okay. Somewhat forgettable. I think really the main gimmick was basically having Christmas with the in-laws, which well, I personally think that joke has been done to death, and not even just for Christmas. But I remember my grandmother once saying a joke about how, like, the reason why Santa always leaves his house on Christmas Eve is because the in-laws are over. And, well, I mean, like, then this film was completely about, like, going to see the in-laws. So I don't know, I'm rambling. Point is, this film was okay. Not one of my favorites, but there are a few memorable moments. But I'd say that this movie is one that you should, like, just put on as background noise. Because there are a few good moments. It's just mainly the film is just parts of it are completely forgettable, if I'm gonna be honest. But unfortunately, that's it for this review, and I'll see you guys tomorrow for another one. And you guys have a Merry Christmas. Bye.